I'd like to thank you guys for taking some time out of your day to listen to this. I'm going to talk to you today about pornography and the way that it affects people that find themselves within the pressures of this addiction. Pornography has become a pervasive cancer in America today and needs to fall under stricter rules and regulations, same that you would find with some of the illegal and illicit drugs such as marijuana or cocaine. Pornography addiction covers a wide variety of demographics from rich to poor. It really doesn't really matter where you fall in the spectrum as far as money, ethnicity. It can get you and grip you. Um, I'm sure that someone in every family is addicted to pornography, whether they realize it or not. And it's no surprise that so many people become addicted to pornography when there are 244 billion internet pages dedicated to images, videos, and stories that fall under the pornography umbrella, and this is according to FamilySafeMedia.com. Many years ago, it would have been a lot harder to get a hold of pornography. You usually had to go to a dingier part of town, to a sleazy place to buy a magazine or something of that nature. But with the proliferation of the internet, it is just allowed pornography to grow into a multi-billion-dollar business every year. Personally, I've struggled with porn addiction for many years. I found this addiction to be the hardest for me to break because I always thought that it wasn't necessarily hurting anyone, and I really didn't think it was hurting myself either until I finally took a look at it and realized that I was looking inward to fulfill myself through this. I finally found the strength to overcome my addiction through the use of intense internet safety nets, which included programs that block internet sites um, that include pornography, and also a program that sends emails to my accountability partner so that he can help keep me on track. We'll take a look today at the effects that pornography has on individuals as far as body and mind, marriages, families, and society. We are also going to take a look at why this is a unnatural form of sexuality, and we will do so from a biblical perspective. First of all, I would like to cover how it affects the body. In order to fully understand the effects of pornography, we will need to take a look at how pornography not only affects the body but also affects the brain. From a brain standpoint, viewing pornography rewires the brain and forms new neurological avenues that are very difficult to get rid of. It takes many years of intense therapy to overcome these and essentially rewire your brain. Viewing pornography is like taking drugs such as marijuana and cocaine. It releases dopamine, and dopamine is essentially the brain's way of feeling pleasure. So the more pleasure you get from the dopamine release, the better you're going to feel, and this is why pornography is just as intoxicating as other drugs. Pornography also affects the body. For a lot of males that take part in using pornography for many years, they may eventually face things such as erectile dysfunction. And I'm not completely sure if this happens with everyone, but I do know for me that when I first really decided to give it up and completely stop watching it, I went through almost a week and a half period where I was just shaking, felt weak, and I just really did not feel good. It almost felt as bad as when I gave up alcohol completely. Next, we're going to take a look at how this addiction affects marriages, families, and society. Pornography addiction affects marriages in many ways. Addiction to pornography can lead to a general feeling of being less satisfied by one's partner. Pornography addiction can also lead to infidelity and also divorce. And there's often a loss in sexual intercourse because of one of the members in the relationship is addicted to porn. Pornography essentially takes the stance of I'm going to look at me for my own gratification. And especially in males, it allows them to take time and say, well, sex is all about me, not about fulfilling it with my wife, who I love. I just need to get fixed, and this is how I'm going to do it. Pornography addiction also affects families in many ways. Some of the ways that the addiction affects them is it can lead to a loss in family relations and morals. It can essentially allow for the morals of the family to be eroded. Viewing porn can lead to greater sexual promiscuity, especially amongst the kids, um, and thus possibly leading to things like unwanted pregnancies or STDs. And viewing porn can also lead to a breakdown between parents and children and make them less able to communicate properly. Society is affected in negative ways through porn addiction and also the availability through stores that sell adult entertainment. In areas where adult entertainment is sold, they tend to face higher crime rates and also a decrease in property values. People that partake in porn can become less productive, and it essentially drives you to only think about that. And also, pornography addiction can lead to child trafficking and prostitution. It also has led many to things such as child molestation, and it essentially can feed all of the darkest recesses of your mind. I mean, there's so many different things out there that are available for people to watch, and it really just it erodes at the base of what we are supposed to be living for and what God truly meant for sex to be. And prolonged exposure to porn can blur the lines between right and wrong when it comes to sexuality. Finally, we're going to take a look at what God has to say about sex. I found the best verse in the Bible, and one that has really given me solace over the years, um, about sex, and especially about pornography, is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18. It states, "Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body. The sexually immoral person sins against his own body." When you partake of porn, you're not just sinning by lusting after the images, you are also sinning against your own body, and it really just truly hurts yourself. God does not wish for his people to view porn or partake in sex outside of marriage. And the sexually explicit things that we see, not only on the internet through pornography, but also at your local newsstands, television. I mean, a lot of the things are softcore porn, and we don't even fully realize that. And it's just completely taking away from what God wants. Viewing porn can lead a person to have a pervasive outlook on their own sexuality. Some porn depicts child exploitation, some depicts sex with animals. Other porn depicts that their porn acts fall under sadomasochism, which is essentially pleasure with pain. And some depict scenes where there's essentially orgies going on, or gay or lesbian porn, which really makes one question about whether or not they are gay or possibly even a lesbian. In conclusion, after covering the addiction to pornography in this manner, I hope that you are more aware of the illness. I hope that this information will help you to be better informed on the effects of porn addiction, and that this will help you to better help people that you may know that are having problems with this addiction. I would like to leave you with the fact that all things can be overcome through Christ, and that if you or someone you know is in the grips of porn addiction, that there are groups out there that are willing to help. Some are nonprofit, some are for profit, and just do some internet research on it. That's how I came across a lot of the safety nets I have on my computer, and I know that it's hard to overcome and even harder to make this addiction known to others because it is very secretive addiction. But bringing it to light will help. And so I give you this challenge to fight the good fight and do so with your head held high and a non-judging heart. Thank you.